I was skeptical about this one at first. I mean, I've set up enough NAS drives over the years to know that the moment you plug in more than 4 drives, something always goes sideways, usually the power supply or the firmware update that bricks the whole thing for a weekend. But this Synology DS2422 Plus changed my mind in about 20 minutes flat. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What sold me wasn't the 24-bay headline, it was the quiet hum of the fans and the fact that I could slide in 12 drives without a second power brick dangling off the back. I popped in 6 WD Red Pros I already had sitting around, powered it up, and DSM 7.1 booted without a single error dialog. That alone saved me a whole evening of troubleshooting. The real test came when I started moving my 4K video archive over. I expected the promised 2201 megabytes per second read to slow to a crawl once the cache filled, but even with 12 drives in RAID 6 the sequential read stayed north of 1900 megabytes per second. I was able to scrub through 100 gigabytes of ProRes files in Final Cut without a single dropped frame, something my old 4-bay unit couldn't do with 4 SSDs striped across it. If you're juggling large media libraries or raw photo shoots, that kind of throughput means you're not waiting around for thumbnails to generate. Then there's the expansion slot. I added the Synology DX1222 last month, and the system recognized the extra 12 bays without a reboot. I migrated two 16 terabytes drives from the main unit into the expansion, expanded the volume on the fly, and kept editing. No downtime, no data migration utilities, just plug and play. If you start with the base 12-bay model and later need 24, you're not buying a whole new NAS, you're buying a $600 expansion unit and calling it a day. Memory is another place this thing surprises. The unit ships with 4 GB, but the manual walks you through popping in a 32 GB DDR4 stick in under 5 minutes. I upgraded to 32 GB because I run Plex, Surveillance Station, and a couple of Docker containers for Nextcloud and Home Assistant all at once. The system never hiccuped, and the CPU stayed cool enough that the fan curve didn't even ramp up. That headroom means you can future-proof the box for a few years without touching the hardware again. Networking is where most NAS reviews glaze over, but this one actually matters. The DS2422 Plus has a 10 GB port built in and an expansion slot for a 25 GB card if you want to go crazy. I swapped in a Synology E10G21F2 card for about $250, and suddenly my local backups to the NAS were limited only by the SSD cache I set up. I'm seeing 2,400 megabytes per second writes to a striped NVMe cache pool, faster than most internal SSDs in my workstation. If you're thinking about 4K editing or large database backups, the 10/25 GB upgrade is worth every penny. The warranty is 3 years straight from Synology, not the retailer, so you're not fighting Amazon if something goes wrong. I've had NAS units die within 12 months, and the hassle of filing a claim is almost worse than the downtime. With Synology handling it directly, you get a prepaid shipping label and a replacement unit in about 3 days. That kind of support is rare these days. Now, it's not all perfect. The unit is heavy, about 28 pounds empty, so make sure your rack or shelf is rated for it. I had to reinforce my IKEA shelf with a couple of 2x4s just to keep it from wobbling. Also, the included power cable is that flimsy 2-prong type, so if your outlet is on a shared circuit with a fridge or laser printer, plan on swapping it for a proper grounded cable. Those are minor tweaks, but they're easy to overlook when you're excited to plug everything in. If you're on the fence about jumping from a 2-bay or 4-bay unit to something bigger, this is the one that won't make you regret it. It's quiet, expandable, and fast enough that you'll forget it's even there until you need to pull a 100 GB file at 3 a.m. and it's already waiting for you. The link is below if you want to see the current price and any bundle deals.